Today we will be talking about how administrators can make systemic change with professional personnel and partnership in technology. We'll be looking at the importance of providing the systemic change in technology. Today's administrator must provide the leadership and management of the effective use of technology and digital resources for their institution. In my opinion, to garner this change, it should be a top-down change, starting with administrators down through to their staff. Without this leadership, the students in a school or district will not be introduced to contemporary avenues of engagement, creativity, collaboration, and learning that are vital to being productive members of today's society. Administrators must also hire competent teachers that are already trained in technology, or train their current staff that are ready to move ahead into the 21st century. These administrators should be looking to hire teachers that are already trained, or if not trained, willing to make the effort to move towards this future of education. Next, we will look at some of the ISTE standards that this lecture will pertain to in order to ensure the professional personnel and the partnerships in technology. The first is Standard 4A. Administrators should lead purposeful change to maximize the achievement of learning goals through the appropriate use of technology and media-rich resources in their schools. They should look to recruit and retain highly competent personnel who use technology creatively and proficiently to advance academic and operational goals throughout their district. And finally, establish and leverage strategic partnerships to support systemic improvement. This could be locally, nationally, and globally in some cases. Next, we will consider some key elements for administrators to consider. Principals and administrators can support new interactive technologies for student learning by encouraging teachers to share best practices of this use in their instructional practices. This is teachers collaborating on what works in their classroom and what doesn't work, and finding that middle ground so that all teachers can be successful. As we discussed earlier, administrators should look to hiring and retaining competent and technology proficient teachers. Administrators should also consider how they will create and maintain an infrastructure that will support the integration of technology in all aspects of their school or district. This would also include classrooms, support staff, offices, and any software that the district may use on the business side of things. The next tips for administrators could help them in providing and maintaining the systemic change that they are seeking. Using digital age tools and developing hiring policies that attract tech-savvy teachers, and the use of emerging technologies in retaining and evaluating these most effective educators. Districts could also consider implementing a Bring Your Own Technology program, or a similar Bring Your Own Device system that some schools use. This could also cut down on technology costs, which is very important to many districts. Administrators should look to build partnerships within the district between all educators, including district and building level administrators, to move from policy to practice in systemic change in technology integration. Administrators should strive to have a united staff in order to provide the systemic change. Everybody has to be working together. This is a great tip from an administrator from a large school district in Kansas. Administrators should have the innovation to understand that we cannot possibly teach students how to use all of the technology that may exist in the future, and that they will be able or better served if we provide them with the foundational skills that build self-confidence, thus enabling them to explore and discover new ways to learn using technology. This tip is from an online education coordinator from Forsyth County in Georgia. Schools should reflect the wired world of the 21st century, where customization has rapidly become the expectation. The one-size-fits-all lesson must give way to personal choice, on-demand delivery, and customer-driven curricular options. In the next couple of slides, we will discuss the 5 steps to empower educators through professional learning. Step 1. Determine district readiness. Administrators need to establish a leadership team that will collaborate in making decisions to promote and integrate connected learning systems district-wide, also to connect with other networks and other online communities of how they practice things in their districts. They also should deepen collaboration, innovation, and professional learning throughout their district, and also share responsibility of sustained improvement. Districts should collect existing district plans, which might include improvement plans, professional development plans, future technology plans, and also strategic leadership plans. Districts should also be able to assess the capacity for professional learning by asking themselves some questions like, do we already have policies and curricula in place that require educators to effectively use technology in the classroom? Do we implement ways of sharing and spreading our comprehensive professional learning? And do we have in place a two-way communication and engagement strategy that keeps all stakeholders informed of our professional learning? Step 2, assess current professional learning. Districts should be able to describe their SMART goals. These could be based on district plans from step 1. They should describe high priority district student learning or how to improve on learning and goals. They should also be able to assess the quality of their current professional learning strategies. Step 3, refine professional learning. Districts should be able to foster online and connected learning as part of the day-to-day activities in their school. They should be able to integrate online and connected learning with ongoing face-to-face and formal professional learning aligned with their improvement or district goals. They should also be able to connect with other networks and online communities of how they practice. And these could also be nationally, globally, or even locally other schools. Step 4, implement professional learning. Administrators should have the ability to evaluate online tools for professional learning. They can create a checklist that describes the characteristics that they seek from these online tools. Then the ability to implement these district professional learning plans and online tools. They should consider the types of evidence that they want collected to measure the value of their professional learning. And finally, they should be able to measure this professional learning, gathering evidence that demonstrates the impact of the learning. They should look to see what the impact on their learning is throughout their schools and districts. The following are some strategies for embedding connected learning into professional learning policy and practice. Administrators should look to develop a connected coach program in which staff members immersed in connected learning can be paired with staff who are not. Then they can create a shared space, a blog, a wiki, to capture their goals and their outcomes or reflections on learning. This is also a way to motivate educators as well as to get more collaboration. Administrators should set a simple goal. For example, find an educator with whom to share the measurable learning goals of your classroom or school. Or use an EdConnector tool to find several global or local partners with whom to collaborate on a goal aligned with your school or district improvement plans and goals. They can also designate time in the school day or week for educators at all levels to collaborate and connect. Could be 20 minutes a day, face-to-face meetings, could be online correspondence, could be an hour a week in online communities, could be during school meetings. And these will look to demonstrate how educators can align their work with school and district improvement plans as well. Finally, I think administrators need to act as the change agent to bring the technology to the forefront of education in their institution. They will need the support of well-trained staff as well as resources from outside of their school to bring about this change.